Hey you guys, welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to give you a glimpse of my go-to everyday makeup look using all drugstore products under $10 to $15. Yes, you heard right, $10 to $15. It's time to transform this face, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. So first up, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in with the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel to set my brows in place. I don't know about you guys, but my brows have a mind of their own, so this step is crucial for them to stay in place. I actually just started using this gel and so far so good, but I will say the hold isn't the strongest, so it does take a second application to really take effect. I just brush my brows in an upward motion until I reach the shape that I desire, as this does help achieve that fluffy eyebrow look as well. So of course, be sure to give the gel enough time to dry down as well. So I do like to just fan my face a little bit while that dries. Okay, and once I have that in place, I'm gonna go in with the milk primer and apply generously. You guys, I know I said I'll be using all drugstore products and I'm so sorry, but this primer right here, this primer, it's my holy grail and I honestly haven't found a drugstore equivalent. If I do, I'll do an updated routine for you guys, I promise. Of course, if you're worried about the cost, what I will say is that there is a mini travel size version that costs around $15 and it lasts for a while. Trust me, it lasted me about 6 months. I love this primer so much because of how tacky it gets. And if you're an oily skin babe like me, a tacky primer is key to longevity with makeup, so your face isn't slipping and sliding off in 10 seconds. Okay, we're all prepped and pretty. Look at her, look at me, yeah. All right, so I have been breaking out a lot lately. So to cover up these dark spots, I'm gonna go in with the LA Pro Girl Concealer in the reddish orange shade. I only put it where necessary. So I have some spots on my cheek that I do need to cover up. And what I do as well, I will put it above my upper lip because I found that it helps in hiding that peach fuzz when I put my foundation and highlighting concealer on top. So to blend that all out, what I'll use is a brush from a BH Cosmetics brush set. I'm so sorry, you guys, but I don't know the names of any of these brushes in this tutorial, just as a disclaimer, but I'll put it on the screen and I will link them below as well. So be sure to blend that color corrector, honey, because it will show through your foundation if you do not blend. It will show. Once that's all blended out, to set everything in place, I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 35 and a tapered flat brush from e.l.f. I actually got this tip or hack, you can say, from Jackie Aina a while back. It really helps reduce oil and shine and overall gives a smoother appearance to my face because it helps with giving the illusion of smaller pores. Beware though, what I will say is because once this powder is on, baby, I will look like Casper the Ghost for the rest of the video until my foundation comes on. Don't be discouraged. Just trust the process because everything will come together in the end. I promise. I'm not going to lead you astray. Like I would not. So just apply the powder everywhere. Wow. It's a tongue twister, you guys. Just apply the powder everywhere where needed. So of course, if your nose gets oily, just put it on your nose. If your T-zone gets oily, just apply it there. My whole face gets oily, child, so I am going to put it all over my face in abundance at that. Now for the make or break part of my entire routine, my brows. Let's get into it. But first, let me move you guys closer. So I'm gonna go in and brush my brows up a little bit more. And the pencil I'm using today is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. So essentially the way I like to do my brows is to start with the side closest to the inner corner of my eye and then work my way to the arch of my brow using light stroking motions, of course. You're literally drawing something on your face, so please take your time and be very precise. To give you guys the real on this pencil, it's not my all-time favorite and doesn't compare to my Morphe pencil, but because I ran out of that, I decided to give this a try. The tip isn't super small and precise, but with the right technique, no matter how cheap a product is, you can finesse it to look like you broke the bank when you really didn't. So I'm putting you on game if you don't know. Like, it's all in your technique. You don't have to spend $100 on the latest and greatest when you can get something from the drugstore and make it look just as good. So of course, if you guys want a more detailed brow tutorial, let me know. But just fill your brows in an upward stroking motion to get that fluffy brow look. So to conceal and shape my brows, I use the LA Pro Girl Concealer in the shade Fawn. I know it's 2021 and I'm still using LA Pro Girl, but you guys, this concealer does the job for me. And like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You feel me? Anywho, when I conceal, I tend to start a little bit under my brow, so that way when I work my way up, my brush isn't like super saturated with the concealer. This makes it easier to blend out in the concealer under my brows without messing them up. And after carving them out, I just drag the concealer down for blending out later. So you'll see me do it on the other eye in a second. So yeah, you see how I started a little bit under my brow and then I went directly underneath it. This again helps with the blending process, because if you have a whole bunch of concealer up there, when you're blending it out, you are bound to mess up your brows. And if you just took all the time like I took to carve these out and shape them, you're going to be upset. So be very, very careful when carving out your brows with the concealer. With the Juvia's Place Hair and Blush Palette, Volume 1, I'm going to liven up my eyes a little bit and give them a little razzle dazzle so that they're not so dull and flat. I only use 2 shades because, again, this is an everyday look, not a full glam. So first what I do is I go in with the middle shade in the top row with the Wet n Wild Fluffy Crease Brush and apply it all over my lid and blend it out. And then what I do next is I go in with the orange shade in the middle of the bottom row to buff out the edges of the first color I laid down. I'm not switching brushes or anything, as this aids in creating a seamless blend and almost sort of a sunset eyeshadow look with only 2 colors, y'all. 2 colors. So just blend, blend, blend. Do you guys see these lashes? I know you do, because I do. I could barely stand to look at myself. Like, oh my goodness. My lash extensions started falling out. I made matters worse by pulling on them and just created a hot mess. But don't worry, because we're about to get these right, honey, with the Miss 3D lashes in M302A. You can find these lashes at your local beauty supply store, but honestly, good luck. Good luck. These must be a fan favorite or something, because I always have the hardest time trying to find them. I can see exactly why though, because y'all, these lashes are bomb. These are my holy grail lashes. I have a lot of holy grails when it comes to things, but these lashes, these are my holy grail. I used to wear 25mm lashes, but recently reverted back to Miss 3D, and I haven't looked back since. So my glue of choice is going to be Duo Lash Glue, the one that has the green lettering on the box. And in my opinion, this glue holds up really well. I know that's not the case for everyone. If anything, to get a stronger hold, I'd recommend applying the glue in layers. Of course, let it dry a little bit in between, and then just reapply. All right, so boom. Who's that pretty girl? Full face not even done yet. Okay. Anywho, for my face, I'm using the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the shade 360. I do go ahead and pump it directly onto my face, and then with an e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, I'll blend everything out with a stippling motion. Please, when blending, try not to drag your brush, because it will cause streak marks and no one wants that. So to conceal, I started using this TikTok hack of placing the concealer only on these 3 points of my face. And let me tell you, it's a gem. Of course, use a little less concealer than I did. I love to OD on concealer. It's my favorite part of my makeup. It really does help in making sure you're not dragging your concealer too far down. And the concealer I'm using is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. Ooh, y'all, this might as well be a full face of Maybelline at this point. No, I'm just kidding. But I really do love me some Maybelline. Probably my top 2 for drugstore brands, and they're not number 2. So that's tea. So I do like to let my concealer sit for a little bit just to aid in giving me that full coverage look. Of course, this is an everyday look, so you really don't have to wait as long, especially if you're on the go. You can just go into blending. So I'll just take that same BH Cosmetics brush and go in and blend out my chin as well above above my lip, and then of course under my eyes. Be sure again, don't drag down because you want that lifted cheekbone look. So blend upwards and then try not to come too far down into your cheekbone. Okay, bringing some warmth and definition back into my face, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution foundation stick in shade F8. Placement is key, you guys, to that super defined elevated cheekbone look. So look where I'm placing it. I'm placing it slightly higher than my natural contour in my cheek, because if you place it too far down, your face will look droopy. So I'll also take some, I put it on my forehead because I have a 5 head actually, and I need to shrink that up just a tad. And then I will take it and go down my nose. So I only place it kind of close again to the corner of my eye and then the button of my nose. So when blending as well, keep that placement that you just set in mind, making sure you're blending up and not down. And to blend out my cheeks and my forehead, I'll use a fluffy but dense brush from the BH Cosmetics set. And then for my nose, I go in with a smaller, more precise Wet n Wild brush and focus on blending up into my brow bone and then straight down to really snatch up my nose. So with the same brush and same loose powder from earlier, I'm gonna go back in and set everywhere I concealed. If you haven't noticed by now, I do use a full face of brushes. Personally, this is my personal opinion, I do feel like it's better at not picking up my makeup and giving me the most flawless coverage. I've tried plenty of sponges and I don't know, the full coverage look that I get with the brush is just mwah, literally chef's kiss. So just go in again, set everywhere that you concealed. I love to OD on powder because this is the part that really smooths out my makeup and gives me that buttery finish. So going in with that same brush that was used on the eyes earlier, I'm just gonna apply whatever's left on the brush under the eye, just for a little pizzazz, nothing too crazy. So I just, again, use the remaining and just swipe it underneath my eye. I don't add any products to it at all whatsoever. Okay, and then for mascara, we're back with another Maybelline product. I don't apply my mascara in any particular way. I just put it on in layers until it looks the way I want, because my bottom lashes, they're there, but without mascara on them, they look non-existent. So of course, to aid in the pop that the lashes added on top, I add some mascara on the bottom and just keep going at it. And going back again with the same Juvia's Place palette that I used earlier on my eyes, I'm going to use a Wet n Wild angled contour brush to take the last shade in the second row and apply it to where I contoured. This shade brings so much warmth back to my face, and I love it because even though I use the term contour, I'm really bronzing. I don't really use that dark grayish shade typically used in contouring because personally it doesn't flatter me, but this is how I get my face to match with my body because my hyperpigmentation is crazy. If you haven't noticed, it may not pick up on camera, but my chest is super light and then the outer parts of my body are super dark. So to get that to match, this is what I have to do. Okay, so of course, can't forget to smooth out all the harsh lines. So I just go back in with my foundation brush. Again, no additional product added, and I just buff out my entire face. Anywhere that looks harsh to me, I go over it with this foundation brush and just blend it out. And one last time, we're gonna go in with that Juvia's Place palette as a blush. So if you don't know, well, you're about to know because I'm gonna put you on game. Blush with an orange undertone is mwah on Black women, and this blush is literally that and more. I do OD on blush because I love it so much, but of course, try and use a lighter hand than me. I do love to smile when I put on my blush so I can really get it on the apples of my cheeks. So yeah, I put on a lot, but if you don't like a lot, put on a little bit less. Okay, to end off my face, I'm going to go in with the Heroin Glow 2 from Juvia's Place with an e.l.f. brush. I like to put it on the arch of my brow, the bridge, and the tip of my nose, and also on my cheekbones and temples. A little of this highlighter does go a long way, so be careful and be very light-handed. And then what I do when I'm done with the smaller brush, I'll go in with a tapered brush from the BH Cosmetics set to blend out the highlighter on my nose. And then that's what I use to put the highlighter on my actual cheekbones and then my Cupid's bow as well. So now to set all of our hard work in place, we're gonna go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. You guys, I have too much fun with this part. I will spritz my life away. Of course, you don't have to OD in it, but it just feels so good when you're spraying. So just spray, 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 and spray again. Okay, look at me. I was really feeling myself. I had music on. I was vibing. Look at that. So this step is more of a personal preference. A lot of people may be like, girl, what are you doing this a little backwards? Didn't you just set your face? But I don't know. Whenever I set my face, after I use a spray, my face is a little too shiny for me. And I hate that sheen because, again, I have oily skin. So I'll just take some pressed powder from Maybelline and a fluffy brush from e.l.f. And I'll just kind of smooth over my face a little bit just to mute the shine. It doesn't really affect the longevity of the makeup, but again, it does reduce that shine a little bit more. And last but not least, this is the last step, you guys. So we're gonna go in with a brown lip pencil. It's actually an eyebrow pencil. Don't stone me. I haven't ever used it on my eyebrows, of course. I got it from the beauty supply store. Just use any brown pencil of your choice, whether it's a pencil from the beauty supply, whether you get it at Walmart. There's plenty of cheap brown liners that you can find and really good quality. Okay, so once I do that, I'm gonna go in on the center of my lips with this lipstick that I got from Wet n Wild. You guys, I do not know the shade off the top of my head, but I'm gonna put it, will be on the screen, of course. So just go in with that in the center of your lips. So just fill in where you lined. Then we're gonna take the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline and go in on top of where we just put the lipstick. And then once we're done with that, then I have this lip gloss from, I think it's Joa Beauty. And you're gonna go in again where you did the other lip gloss and the lipstick, put that right on top. And then lastly, you're gonna go in with the shade Ginger Snap from the Butter Gloss line at NYX. And then where you put your brown lip liner is where you put this one to kind of buff out the edges and give you that chocolate look. You guys, I use like 50 lip glosses on my lips. I really don't know if it's making a difference or not, but I don't know. I see the difference every time I put on a lip gloss on top. So then lastly, we're gonna go in with Ruby Kisses. I got this lip gloss at the beauty supply store. It's just a regular clear gloss. So if you don't have this exact gloss, you can use any clear gloss that you have and just go on top. Personally though, this gloss, I love it because it doesn't do that lip gloss thing where it leaves the white lining on the inner lip, and then the shine is super strong. And voila, we have a full face, you guys. Look, period. I look beautiful. I'm going to boost myself. I look beautiful. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications, please. And you guys, I'm so excited with this look. I hope you guys love the outcome. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.